Hello. Sorry about the delay. I had to take a mild shit.
A smoking shit.
After the smoking, then yeah, shit.
That ash flavored shit. Fucking smoking, man. I have a
Yeah.
rule in my life. It's don't trust anything that describes its flavor as fucking smooth. Smooth is not a flavor.
Yeah, but when you get a cigarette that's just really fucking smooth, man. Ooh.
It's not a flavor. It's not a quality to a flavor. It's not a tongue thing. It's not a taste thing. And I mean the only things that I ever shut the fuck up. Talking to my phone. The only things that's ever really applied to is tobacco and whiskey anyway.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I agree with the tobacco one in principle. If a cigarette has a taste, it's typically bad, but I it's basing your taste on relative experience, on comparison. When a lot of cigarettes are not smooth. A smooth cigarette does, to say hit different. But,
A smooth cigarette for smooth brains. Tee
um, but yeah, I get your point. Um, yeah, it's all about relativity.
Or relativity, put my foot up your ass.
Okay.
That was that was shit, really. How's your day been?
My day. I got up too early because I stupidly had a nap yesterday, so I like couldn't
How
sleep
nap are
that
we?
long.
How nap are we talking here? Are we talking nap in the realms of actual sleep, or nap as in a nap?
Well, see, I never have a nap that would be a traditional, 60, 90 minute nap. So I guess for me, a nap is like 3 hours. So yeah, like a short sleep, I guess. Um, but yeah, it
Half
meant that
your half your daily recommended sleep take.
yeah, so I could only really sleep for like 4 hours, like for my proper sleep. So I just played a lot of, I've just been playing a game, really. That took up most of today.
Oh, what
And then,
game?
the football. It's called Surviving Mars.
I
It's
think I've heard the name before. Is it
yeah,
is it
it's
is
it's
it
kind of
is,
like
is it one of the ones made by the same guys who make like Don't Starve Together and shit?
I don't know the actual studio. I know the publisher is
You
Paradox,
I
but
was gonna say you would know the art style, like
no,
like
I
a
don't think so. Then yeah, like no.
yeah, I think that's true because I think the one that they do make that would be closer to that would be like Oxygen Not Included,
Oh yeah, no, no, no,
which
not
is
that.
a fucking headache and a half.
Yeah, Oxygen Not Included is a game that like I feel like I should really like. It seems like my sort of game, but I don't know. I could just never maybe I just didn't give it enough of a chance, but
Yeah, I think I'm in the
um
same boat there, but it was very much a moment of I never felt comfortable.
yeah, yeah.
Like it was like I do like build like surviving and then expanding, but I like to have footholds along the way.
Mm, mm,
Whereas Oxygen Not Included kind of felt like this never-ending sprint. Whereas like
yeah.
you're kind of dealing with a crisis as the next crisis is coming up to your fucking doorstep.
Yeah, no, I get like I'd say Surviving Mars is a bit like that. It's not as suffocating,
Yeah,
but
whereas I think what I prefer to do is deal with a crisis and go things are going good, but it could be better. But to make it better, I need to open Pandora's box and deal with
yeah.
whatever the fuck's inside. Yeah, just the lack of breathing room, which it sounds ironic, given that the game is quite literally called Oxygen Not Included.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of what it says on the tin, really. You have to establish a colony on Mars. When I first played it years ago, there wasn't really much to it. You like build a, you put your robots down, you start generating oxygen and water, then you put a dome down, and then you get people, and then it's just more domes, more people, and that's really it.
Until you've domed the entire planet.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, they recently added. I say recently, it was like probably like a year or two ago, but I only just saw it now. One where it's actually like terraforming Mars. So there's like an actual sort of end game stuff to do, but yeah, it's one of those games where I think you can kind of bash. Like, it doesn't have a lot of replayability value other than playing it in a harder version of itself.
Would you say it's more of like a science orientated city builder?
Yeah, yeah. There's no like aliens, but disasters are quite. You have to survive like meteor storms and dust storms and like cold snaps and shit that like are constantly fucking up your base. But there's no like combat or anything. It is just a city builder.
Yeah.
But like the early game, there's no humans on your thing at all. It's all just robots and shit. Making the base level of habitability.
Similar to
Before
games
you
you've
start putting
played,
humans.
Factorio and Oxygen Not Included. Oh god, it is a fucking Paradox game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just looking at the DLC list.
Trust me. I used to love Prison Architect, and it was just done by like two bongs who would do these like weekly dev updates, and it was all really comfy and shit. And then I came back to it a few years later, saw that there's like 5 or 6 DLC packs, and it's like, oh, it's bought out by Paradox. No more comfy chats.
How many ways do you have to like keep someone fucking locked up?
Oh.
Like I don't I guess I don't see where the escalation is in that.
Yeah, it's like rehabilitation and then like island prisons and then it's like mental institutes and things like that.
Oh, so it's different flavors of prisons, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
tell me they did like a POW camp.
I'll check now. I don't think they did, sadly.
Maybe a bit too controversial. They didn't want the community like committing war crimes as a joke. Maybe.
Oh, it's like the whole armor thing, how they had to add the war crimes expansion because people kept just nuking civilians.
What?
Armor 3?
Oh yes.
Yeah, there was just such a culture of the online of just like civilian casualties that they eventually made like a UN peacekeeper expansion with war crimes and stuff to stop people murdering civilians. Because there weren't really any punishments for just, oh, we think there's an enemy in this village. All right, let's just call an airstrike.
Oh
but
god. Fucking I do love that one Twitter. I think it's might be my favorite gimmick Twitter account. Actually, no, that's not a lie. Games that you can commit war crimes in, and they just like go through and list war crimes that are in games. Unfortunately, it feels like they get a bit too. I don't want to say political, but maybe just on the nose when they like continually make snide remarks whenever like George Bush or some shit's mentioned in the news.
Oh, right,
Because
right.
he's technically a war criminal, and that's why he never leaves the country.
Yeah.
But
I mean, no,
it's funny how many war crimes are just kind of like whenever you think war crime, you think like yeah, mass murder of civilians, but there's a bunch of like really small ones.
yeah.
The one that always gets me is it's apparently a war crime to shoot down a mid-air ejected pilot.
That makes sense. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
I don't know. That one
Huh.
feels more like a. It's apparently. It's kind of one I don't necessarily agree with.
Hmm.
I mean, think about it. If you got shot, if your plane got shot down and you ejected, there is worse ways to go than getting absolutely fucking shredded by a 20 mm autocannon.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's
like
uh,
I remember playing Call of Duty. No, it was one of the early Medal of Honor games. And you have to parachute to Normandy. I think it was right after Band of Brothers came out, so it was like, Easy Company paratrooping. And so the first thing you see is the guy next to you gets caught in a tree, and when you eventually cut yourself loose, you see he's been shot by the Nazis. It's like, damn, that's a bad way to go. Just stuck in a tree. Um,
I don't know when the law when I think it was written post World War Two. That one,
yeah, yeah,
which is kind of when if you're gonna get shot down by something fucking midair, it's gonna you'll be fucking a splatter. There'll be
mm,
nothing solid left.
yeah. But huh.
And I was because I was thinking about this earlier this week actually, and I'm kind of just sitting there wondering if there's any like war crimes that have been repealed
Hmm.
because you at the same time I get a wonder like that's got to be like career suicide. It's kind of like the war crime equivalent of like walking in and trying to debate the age of fucking consent.
Yeah, I remember. It's actually technically I heard it on my on a football podcast, but it's not football related. But basically, there was a bunch of corruption. I think it was in Romania, um, with their politicians, taking bribes and shit.
Corruption in the
And so
Balkans.
yeah, well, yeah, man, crazy. So what they decided to do was because so many of them were getting, arrested and indicted, they just collectively decided to decriminalize corruption. So it wasn't illegal anymore. I think it was Romania. Um, but yeah, just like, all right, guys, you know what we should do? Let's pass a law that makes it legal for us to take bribes.
I mean, it worked.
Oh
It worked for the United States. Fucking
yeah, lobbying and shit.
dabbing right now. Look at me making jokes about America. Why, yes, I
Base.
do own Funko Pops. I don't own Funko Pops.
I technically own a Funko Pop. Um, I got one given to me as a gift years ago, and it's kind of like the Sunderland mug, where it's like it's a gift, so like I can't throw it out. No, the T-shirt. Sorry. Wait, was that mug as well? I can't remember.
I
Um,
forget. I can probably.
I've put them in a box and just not. It's
I
kind of
would
like
say I'd scroll through my emails and find like the order confirmation, but they send me like 3 emails a week telling me about what the fuck's going on with Sunderland Football Club, and I'm pretty
why
sure
haven't
I
you
opted out of the
unsubscribed?
newsletter.
Oh, I was gonna. But yeah, like it's one of those things where it's like it's a gift, so I don't feel comfortable throwing it out, but at the same time I don't want it, so I just have this Funko Pop in the box just sitting somewhere.
Yeah,
The worst thing is, it wasn't even like a Funko Pop relevant to me. Basically, what happened is my sister clearly just like shit. I hadn't got him a gift. I just regifted a Funko Pop or something. I think it's like Klaus Christmas from like some shit Christmas film, like some villain or whatever, but not like the Grinch. But one of
okay,
those
yeah.
toys.
There was one mug and one T-shirt,
Right, right. But yeah, I've got it. It's sitting somewhere.
and in the year and a half since I sent that, um, I've gotten 64 emails from Sunderland AFC. So I guess not like two a week, but
Yeah, just under one a week. So
if
you know.
you fucking see them. Oh, goddamn. Last email I got was on the 30th with tickets to Elton John.
Hog.
Um, well, to buy tickets to Elton John. They didn't give me tickets.
Oh, shit.
Hey, you remember how you bought a mug and a t-shirt a year and a half ago? Here's some tickets to see Elton John.
I mean, that would be based. That would be fucking based. Like,
I
we
mean,
want you back in the fold. Here you go. Here's some Elton John tickets. I mean, that would get me back in the fold.
I would unironically follow a well, fucking Sunderland football if they gave me tickets to Elton John, and I don't even like Elton John. I just appreciate like the message that they're trying to send there.
Yeah.
That they're made of fucking money.
Mm.
Oh.
But yeah, I've had a boring day, really. How about yourself?
My morning has fucking sucked. I've been
Oh?
awake for like 3 hours, and I spent 2 hours of that in bed because it's too fucking cold. And
Mm.
then I get out of bed, and my second monitor almost like worry. It shit its bed to the degree that I actually bought a replacement. So it's working now. Like
Mm.
basically, the moment I sent confirm on the order for the new monitor, I did like one last hurrah at trying to get it to work. Actually, I wasn't even trying to get it to work. I was kind of like resigning myself to the fact that it isn't going to work, so I'm going to turn it off so that I don't have windows popping up on a monitor I can't see and then can't like access.
Mm.
And then I kind of like switched it back just to check and it actually started working.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it does this whole worrying thing a lot actually. So
Yeah, my old monitor was like that, like constantly giving out. I mean, it would work, but it's like, do you know when it's not that something has to be plugged properly in, it just has to be plugged in like the right way, like to some weird angle and shit. Like it was sort of that where any sort of movement on the desk would just make it kaput, but
yeah,
um
that happens a lot, but it happens to my controllers.
right, right. Well, I hope you like your new monitor.
I will. It's a carbon copy of my main monitor.
Hog. Did you upgrade your? Let me guess. You upgraded your monitor, and then you used your old monitor just as your secondary
Yeah,
monitor,
well,
right?
that's kind of how
Yeah.
it's been. Like, my first. I don't really want to say my first PC, but my first PC in this sort of like lineage
Mm.
was a hunk of shit I made out of like literal scrap, like parts I managed to find in like the shed.
Yeah.
And then I had this shitty little like it's the one really autistic fucking resolution. I think it's like 1360 by 768. It's this, and I had that for the longest time, and I would play the shit out of Rome Total War on that.
Mm.
And the thing about the resolution it was at is that games didn't really support it. So I was basically running this monitor, running games at a different resolution. So that was a fun time.
Mm.
And then yeah, after I got my first job in and saved up a chunk of money over the Christmas holidays, I bought it in 2015 was when I built the like proper gaming PC, and I got a 60 hertz 1080p monitor for that, which I
Yeah.
basically used as the only monitor for a long time. And then after a couple of years, I kind of went, I want a second monitor just for like Discord or something, and then I used the shitty little monitor from that or for
Yeah.
that. And then yeah, when I built the PC in at the start of last year, yeah, the 1080p 61 became the second monitor, and the
Mm.
primary monitor became some 1080p 144 hertz thing.
Nice.
So now I'm gonna have two of them. It's gonna be great.
I had a really shit 1080p monitor, 60 hertz, and then I got like a normal 60 hertz 1080p monitor. But I briefly rocked a two monitor setup, but I just found that so my desk isn't okay. It's technically big enough, but my desk is next to the door, so it would mean I'd have to be very careful with the door and shit.
And given you're
Um,
like a autistic spaz,
and yeah, I knock over enough just like glasses and shit. Like, yeah.
imagine
Um,
fucking Misha just knocking over your monitor by opening the door.
oh
He
yeah.
fucking would too.
I could have it on my sort of like not a cabinet. I guess a cabinet that's like I don't know 30 centimeters higher than my desk, right next to it, and so it was like at this weird odd angle setup. But I now just have my printer there, and I just use my phone as my second monitor for like Discord and shit. So like it's one of those things where I wish I could have two monitors. Like I'm not shitting on it because it would improve a
Oh
lot, but
yeah, well,
like
I mean, like with the first go around like that, when I used the little shitty one, yeah, it was very pushing the limit. Like the main monitor's base was basically at the edge of the desk, so I had, 1/3 of the monitor floating off the edge that I had to be careful of. So when I'd moved on, like at the start of last year, uh, I also got a really nice like L-shaped desk. So now I have like all this space, and it's amazing. And now I just fill it up with shit and like rubbish. Honestly.
mm,
Oh, I need to clean my shit. I am cleaning my shit up today. I got things to do after this, but that's a story for another time. Actually, it's not a story at all. I'm just getting a new bed.
oh base.
Yeah. Anyway, you've been watching football for the past 3 fucking weeks or something,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we established that the first half of it was fucking boring.
yep. Pretty much. I should say for um just for in the interest of what do you call it transparency. There is a match on right now. I do just have it on on the thing.
Well, yes, I did check general and say that you were watching it. I am absolutely bracing myself for the moment where you like yell at the TV over something.
Well, see, here's the thing. Both teams I don't really give a shit about. As in, they're both the best teams against England, so I kind of want both to fail. So it's one of those
So
where
you kind of want like one to lose horrendously, but find out that the one that won was just pumped up on fucking steroids.
yeah, or more likely, I want them to tie it up and then play all of extra time, and then get on penalties, and then one of them lose there, and also a couple of injuries here or there. Uh, yeah, that's what I want. Because it's one of those weird things where so normally there's a week between games, but in tournaments they have to play every 3 or 4 days. So,
It's a lot of
um,
stress on the players.
well, yeah, I mean it's more just tired. They just get tired. So that extra 30 minutes of extra time, well, a normal game is only 90 minutes, so they're playing like an extra third of the match. Um, but it also means players who are brought in on half time who normally would have only played half a match are essentially playing close to a full match. So, um, yeah, it's but it looks like Italy's gonna win. Maybe I don't know. I don't really care to be
Well, yeah.
honest.
So
It's just
so
like
so one of them's Italy. Who was the other team?
Belgium.
Ah, I
So
see.
Belgium have sort of been in what's called like a golden generation for quite a while. Basically, a bunch of really good players at club level. Um, So,
Mhm.
wait, did I explain on the last pod that players play for both club and country? Um,
I don't think so.
well, players play for club and country. Um, yeah, that's it. So, um, they play really well for their club side. You know, your Manchester United, your shit like that.
Mm.
Um, and so it's kind of like, well, that should translate to a lot of success at the national level. Um, so they did reach the semi-finals of the World Cup and shit, and they've sort of been a dark horse team for a long time. They came into this tournament like second favourites. But this is like a lot of their players are getting quite old, so this is pretty much their like last opportunity to win a major trophy. But they look tired as fuck, so then they're down by one and there's only 10 minutes to go, so but Italy I'm worried about. No one rated Italy, but they've been amazing this tournament, so yeah. But yeah, unlike the last pod, now you know every team who's still in has played at least 4 times, so there's a lot more of a an easier way to kind of judge the teams, you know. Because back in that pod episode, it was like teams had only played once, so um, no team had been eliminated yet. Whereas now, 2/3 of the teams have been eliminated. Plus, who was it that lost earlier today? Oh, Switzerland. They got eliminated earlier today. So 7 teams remain. Um, so yeah, so today and tomorrow are the quarterfinals.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, England. I mean, we may as well just get the football shit out of the way. Um, England topped their group, which meant we went up against the runners-up of the group of death. A group of death is a group where so normally in a group only 2 of 4 teams go through. You know, the top 2 teams go through. Um, a group of death is one where 3 teams should go through, but only 2 can go through. So it's kind of like one of like a big country has to go out. So like this one was Germany, France, and Portugal plus Hungary. Um, and so realistically, 3 of those teams should be in the top 16. So, but this tournament's been fucked up in that some of them have allowed three teams in a group. So yeah, we played the runners up of that, which is Germany, which I was shitting myself all week for. But we won. Um,
Nice.
yeah, we have only ever beaten Germany once in tournament football, and that was in 1966. We beat Germany in friendlies, but you know, like exhibition matches, but not when it counts. We always lose.
So like the last time you beat Germany was when Germany was at half power.
Yeah, yeah. It was West Germany. Yeah, um, yeah. They won the next tournament if I recall correctly as well. So, fuck, even Germany at half power, pretty fucking good. Um, but yeah, it was a really good win. We're in the quarterfinals. We're playing against Ukraine. Um, on paper, it's a match that England should win easily, but this is the thing: England always disappoint. They always fail. So I'm not taking it for granted. If we beat Ukraine and we're in the semi-finals, then I'll start dreaming. And technically, we're only 3 wins away from me having to get a gnome tattoo. So, um, yeah,
Oh,
um,
it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a great time.
God, I fucking wish I hope I have to get a gnome tattoo. Honestly, fucking love it. But I mean, I'd hate the tattoo, but The
Have
circumstances
you
would be worse.
decided where you're going to get it?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it in sort of the basic tattoo, upper left arm, I think.
Uh,
Um,
if you get it on your upper left arm, can you get it like upside down? So they like,
why?
so they like peeks out your t-shirt and just goes, whoo!
Right. I'll take suggestions when if we win, sure.
Otherwise, like, basically the next best place over that is, I mean, like just below your kidneys, I guess. So he like peeks out of your pants, but like on the back end, so that it's not like weird if you ever get into like a kinky situation ever again.
Yeah, I was gonna say like yeah, well fuck me ever going home with a woman then Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Take
it's
my shirt off
yeah,
and you
well,
just see the fucking gnome.
yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Like,
Like not on the front, you know. So it's only really a problem if you start getting pegged or some shit.
uh, well, I know Sleepy really wanted it on my arse, but
Yeah, well, I was gonna say ask because then that doesn't ruin the whole like surprise thing where he's just like peeking out of your clothes.
hmm. Why do you want him peeking out so much?
I think it's funny.
Alright. You
Just
know what, fair enough.
just the whole whoo thing he does. It's the best that I can imagine as like a non-verbal equivalent.
Hmm. Well, yeah. Uh I'll start to dream if we win this next if we win tomorrow. But nothing's for granted. There's been so many big upsets. Fucking France was beat. Oh my god, what? I mean, watching that with Sleepy was fine, but Leo was there. Oh god, that was something else. France being favourites for the entire tournament, um, and their team just seems to have been imploding. One of their star players is embroiled in a blackmail sex tape scandal.
Mm.
Um, the mother of said player was castigating the mother of the two other big players in the stands for their sons being shit, leading to fights in the stand between the parents of the players. Apparently, the manager of France had to cut off the internet connection in the hotel because all of his players were staying up too late playing video games and watching Netflix. Um, just today, two of the players, one of them had to get their like TV repaired or something, and they were recording themselves being racist to the Asian repairman, like pulling their eyes and shit. So yeah, it seems to be an entire shit show with France.
Oh, dude, France out. I want France to win now.
No, they're out. They got knocked out.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Yeah, in the round of 16. So not even the quarterfinals. In the round of 16 to fucking Switzerland, they got knocked out. Their star player, the guy who's everyone's saying is going to be the next Messi, the next Ronaldo, missed the final penalty.
The French Messi, the Merci.
Yeah. yeah, exactly. He fucked it up. He fucked everything up. And the worst thing is, something I do feel really bad about is the entire time me and Sleepy, while he was getting ready for the penalty, we were just saying to Leo, well, he couldn't possibly miss. He couldn't miss. He's their best player. And he missed, and we totally jinxed it. And I feel really bad because that's like, man, what punishment is England now going to get because I did that?
Your boys got fucking XCOM'd.
Yeah. Yeah, he literally did. Yeah, fucking 85% chance to hit. Wah, wah.
When you put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. France have been an absolute fucking shit show. It's been great to watch, though.
It's a good time. It's a great time.
But yeah, tomorrow I'm either going to be incredibly happy. So I can't remember what I did for the first goal. I just remember I had Chow Mein on my lap and I nearly spilled it over, taking my shirt off and
Doing England
whatever.
things.
Yeah, for the second goal, again, shirt was off again. Then I don't know, I just started shaking the booty, I just felt the moves coming to me, and then I just did a sick ass stanky leg, you know. I'm saving the nay nay for next game.
I have no idea what the
Um,
fuck you're talking about. I'm
uh,
not.
shit black people dance moves. There you
Yeah, I get that. I don't know what any of them are.
go. um, but I've been at it.
Yeah, you got
Oh,
you
yeah.
got told that Italy is very cool.
Italy knocked out Belgium. I technically still my stream's been a minute behind, but nice. Oh, but yeah. I'll be honest. Watching so much football is kind of like it's a lot of football I've been watching. Like,
You kind of get to understand why it's a seasonal thing because, like, after a month of it, you kind of want to do something else.
well, that's the thing. If I wanted to watch this much football normally, I'd have to pay fucking $40 a month. Well, fuck that shit. I'm not doing that. But it's all free, because by law it has to be free. So yeah, I've just been left to my. It's like
The UK government kind of took a step back and realized that they could save a bunch of money on property damage by just making tournament football free.
no, it's like it's more that it's considered a fucking public right along with the same as like basic food and healthcare.
That's
It's like,
what
oh
that's
yeah,
what I'm saying. Because if you tried to
yeah,
charge for it, they'd fucking riot.
oh yeah, yeah. um, oh shit, what was I gonna say? But yeah, it's kind of like when a kid, you grow up and you realize you can eat whatever you want, and you just buy a cake and you eat it, and you understand why you shouldn't just eat a whole cake for dinner.
No,
And it's like,
I
it's
don't
all right,
because I do that, and I have no problem with it.
all right. You are a stronger man than I, and
Yeah,
you have my utmost respect.
there have been very, very few instances in my life where gluttony has come back to bite me.
Mm. Well, if you could imagine a scenario where that would exist, it's like that. It's just too much.
It's like when you've jerked off for the seventh time today and your dick's kind of gone raw now.
Yeah, yeah,
You ever done that?
man.
It's not fun. I don't recommend it.
No, not seven, but yeah, I've definitely got to the point where it's like, man, it just stops feeling good. It's just
No,
like,
when it actually starts to hurt because you've like rubbed the fucking skin off.
oh no, no, never that.
Oh,
Yeah.
just me then. Okay.
Yeah, that's your own fight, white man.
Oh,
Um,
I've had nothing happen these past 2 weeks. I've like work's been boring as shit, and
mm.
I've been playing Fallout 4.
Oh yeah, I saw that yesterday. Was there still this morning? I can't remember. Time is just sort of merged.
Actually, if I swing through like when was 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago was the
The
19th. So
18th?
I've technically played like the rest of the Room games. That's
The
fun.
room?
Um, The Room, not to be confused with the film The Room by
Yeah.
Tommy Wiseau, is a set of it's started off as like a bunch of puzzle games for like tablets and shit because a lot of it's like really intuitive for touch screen controls.
Mm.
It's a point and click puzzle game where it's like mostly centered around like a lot of like really intricate clockwork mechanisms and like Cthulhu and mythology or some shit. If you can kind of like get my vibe on that.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I've just personally never really been that into like Cthulhu shit.
Same, but I mean, it started off as like years ago. Sleepy had a copy of the Room One and the Room Two, and he gave the Room One to Maurice, and he gave the Room Two to me. And I played it, and I enjoyed it. And it wasn't until recently that I realized maybe I should go and play Room One because I didn't get Room One. And then I played. Well, I actually played the Room Three, and then I played the Room One, and then I played the Room Four, and it was great fun. It's just
Mm.
oh that actually that's what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. Because I was gonna say it's a nice thing that you can kind of just like zone out for 6 hours and just like move clockwork mechanisms around and shit to make doors open.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what I've been doing while playing them was listen to the
Ah, yes.
57 episode so far documentary on fucking Chris Chan. And
Yeah.
I'm currently on part 27 of 57 so far. It has been a fucking wild ride. Just
Okay. Give me the quick rundown.
I don't I think I think 27 episodes each 40 minutes long is the quick rundown.
Mm.
um Other than that, Christopher Christian Weston Chandler is a currently 39-year-old high functioning autistic guy living in Virginia who has spent basically the past 20 years of his life being a fucking lol cow on the internet by just constantly feeding the fucking trolls and losing his mind. All in a vain attempt to get laid. It's great.
Has he succeeded?
As of episode 27, no. And I don't think it succeeds going down the line because I think because I've got like the playlist here, and if I look at like the thumbnails, I think it's in about like 5 more episodes he comes out as trans or some shit, or as he's quick to specify a transgender lesbian because he's still trying to get laid.
Oh yeah, based.
And he thought that would improve his odds.
Mm.
So I don't think he succeeded, and I don't think he will succeed for the next however knows how long.
40 episodes.
Oh no, there's like
Um,
another fucking 25 fucking episodes.
I thought you said. Oh, I can't count. So yeah.
Well, no,
Okay,
actually, it's
30.
like another 30 episodes. Sorry, 'cause I'm on 27 and there's 57, and God knows when the next one's coming out.
Mm. I
Uh,
would say like my knowledge of Chris Chan came from like my brother telling me stories about this weird guy on the internet like 8 9 years ago. I'm just thinking, wow, that's fucked up, and showing me funny pictures of Sonic Chew.
yeah,
Um, and that was it. You know, like yeah, like 8 9 years ago. And then yeah, I know Sky and FCD have been talking, and I like tried watching the first one, and it to me it's like the film The Room, right? So
I
many
actually
people.
haven't watched The Room. Uh,
Well, it's got this reputation as being so bad it's good, and I definitely understand that sentiment. There are things I feel like that, but to me, The Room is just bad. It's not funny. It's not whatever. It's just bad, and it was kind of the thing with like Chris Chan, where I was like, I'm not enjoying this. I don't find this like I don't even want to say I find this sad. I just find this like I would just rather be doing anything else with my time. Um, but yeah, that's just me. I have heard it's very good, apparently, but I just can't make
I
it
will
through
say it's
episodes.
very well presented.
Mm.
The fact I don't know how many takes the fucking like the guy narrating it has gone through to not piss himself laughing when just reading this shit.
Or does he present himself like one of those fucking like wildlife documentary guys?
What do you mean?
Well, like like a David Attenborough sort of. I don't know. More is it more the British style, or the American style? I think it's more what I'm asking. Is he very calmed, measured, and non-judgmental, or is it like
Yeah,
you won't believe what happens
yeah,
next?
he's very much the former.
Right,
I was,
the,
but
the, the British
I was
style.
getting to. I was going to say no. He doesn't have a British accent, and he isn't trying to put one on.
Oh
But
yeah, I
but
mean like Ken Burns, great American documentary maker, who's
but
like
he
that.
does.
Yeah.
His very verbatim. He will sound out every single typo, and like
Wow.
every time he capitalizes one full word.
You'll shout it.
Yeah,
Okay,
or
all
like
right. Here's the test. Does he say the N word?
he actually didn't.
Mm.
But that it didn't come up until till episode 26 when fucking Chris started dropping niggers and the narrator censored himself, but he did not censor the videos of Chris.
Right.
So,
But is he saying the word and then it's like beeped over him, the narrator, or is he just saying N word rather than
it's beeped.
right? Okay.
But yeah, it's a good time. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but it's a wild fucking ride.
Okay. In your honest opinion, would you say it's disgusting?
Uh I don't know how to answer this.
I mean, see that right. Here's the thing. I can put up like I can happily deal with like I can get through some cringe and all that, but the things I can't really deal with is like disgusting stuff. That's like something I have no enjoyment watching. Um,
So I guess another example from the episode I watched like last night, which was 26. He did spend a significant amount of time making a video displaying how he would perform oral.
I more mean it's the shit like piss bottles
Oh
and all that stuff.
no,
Like,
there's not that. At least not yet. Like you,
I like how you can't leave anything on the table. Like,
oh
there's still
well.
30 episodes to go. I'm like,
Well, the thing is, yeah, at this point, his dad is still alive. Like I haven't watched it, but I do know things that happen. Like I do know his house burns down. I do know his dad's basically on fucking death's doorstep right at this point in where I am, which is like 2010. I think we're like
okay.
yeah,
So,
we're 27 episodes in and we're only hitting 2010. And like hang on, I wonder like it's really only the first two maybe the first like four episodes will cover like the ages between 0 and like 18, but once he's legally an adult, it's basically just been like one episode for maybe a, a very small portion of a year.
hmm,
He's technically left the internet at this point three times,
right.
where
Oh, do you know?
he gets trolled to the point where he's like, "No, I'm over this. I'm just leaving," and then he just comes back a month later because
Damn.
he's a fucking moron who doesn't learn from his mistakes.
The Chris Chan books are on fucking Amazon. The Sonic Tube books.
Are they actually his or are they sold by a troll without his copyright and shit? Sorry, I'm just referencing. But it's very sad, I guess.
Yeah,
Like not in a heartbreaking sad. It's just like pathetic.
yeah,
Like there's kind of a point, and maybe this is just me because I'm some kind of fucking psychopath where you want to feel sorry for him, but at the same time he's done absolutely nothing to help himself,
yeah,
and that's kind of where it shows through with a lot of the trolls. Like he's at about three. There's been about like four instances where he's had trolls pretend to be like a like online date him. Part of it for the lols, but then they also ask him questions like, have you tried getting a job or anything, or like, have you tried doing fucking anything to improve your life? And he just doesn't.
yeah. There's some people perhaps on the server.
Not anymore. Theron left.
Oh, oh man, that was great. I don't know if it's worth bringing up on the podcast, but
Oh,
a
by the
video
way,
Sleepy did.
in fact, I'm fully endorsing Sleepy's channel, where you can go watch his
Oh,
unlisted videos.
I fucking bit. I mean, I asked him to do that because there's so many times I want to watch a Sleepy video, and I have to like DM him for the link. So I asked him, and yeah, I binge watched them all. Man, there's some absolute shit there, but man, there's some fucking gold there. Like fuck.
It's an amazing time capsule when you like go back and like, all right, that fucking happened in 2017.
Yeah, it's crazy. Um, but yeah, I can't remember. But basically, we were memeing, and what Potato said to Theron came up. And I did a dramatic reading of it, and Sleepy asked me to do it again and record it, and I was like, okay. So I
Yeah,
did it,
I
and
was
then
gonna ask that. I was like, was that on the podcast or something? Did we read that on the podcast, or did he like do it elsewhere?
no, I'll be honest. You know, memes move quite quickly. I can't remember why it came up in that particular conversation, but it came up, and I just decided it'd be funny if I read everything out that Potato said. Um, and yeah, Sleepy just asked me to do it again, but record it. So I did it again and recorded it, and then he was like, I'm going to make a video essay," and it's one of those things I was saying to Potato, where it's like, I didn't know it was for a video essay, but that being said, if he told me, I still would have done it. Like, yeah, uh, like,
How much
and
how much money do you think it would take to get Potato to read it?
ooh,
Potato, hit me up.
yeah.
You know I'm good for it.
I mean, I think maybe it's just you just got to be nice to him for a bit.
I am nice to
Uh,
him. Nice to him all the time.
you know what I mean. But
Like
but
I
yeah,
haven't bullied him for a while because he hasn't been a fucking because he's been doing
he's
shit with his life.
great.
It's great.
Yeah. Mm. But um, but yeah, we were looking for pictures of that girl he likes now from the Honda advert,
Oh, I
and
guess this also reminds me. I've watched 27 episodes of fucking Chris Chan, but I still haven't gone back and watched Eurocamp.
based. Based. Um,
It's one of those things. It's really gonna. It's gonna fuck me over because I got into this shit show because I like spent a month and a half or whatever it was watching House. And I'm like, oh god, I'm
mm,
hopelessly behind on anime. And then I've
this comes
I cause
along.
I watched a couple of animes and I quite enjoyed them. Like I think Made in Abyss was in amongst all that, and that went over in like 2 days because I enjoyed it so much. But I'm not someone who's gonna like stop watching an anime halfway through. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like if I'm gonna go back to watching anime, I'm gonna be watching Eurocamp. And if there's literally anything better to watch than Eurocamp right now, I'm gonna be doing that, and that just happens to
Yes.
be 57 episodes of Chris Chan's life. Oh,
Uh, you know what I watched actually recently?
and it's really gonna make it's getting worse because it's gonna be one of those like psyching myself out things. Like Eurocamp
Mm.
is not bad. I can't find it in myself to give a shit, and the more I put it off, the worse that's gonna get.
Yeah, I found that with Super Cub. I just kind of I watched the first 3 episodes as they came out. Then I had a big break, and then I watched the fourth episode. I was like, you know what? I don't really give a shit. It's not bad. It's just like, eh, it's not really that good. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna skip on that one for a long, long time. Yeah, I feel I kind of give everyone a chance to recommend me anime, and I think this is gonna be Potatoes' like failed attempt.
to be fair, he hasn't been recommending it.
Yes
Uh,
and no.
no.
It, I do a very ass about face way of getting recommendations, which I personally feel is better because I feel they're more genuine. Where I'm not gonna outright ask someone like recommend me an anime, because if I do that, I get like the same pre-scripted fucking responses like, oh, go watch Gurren Lagann
Yeah.
or like Evangelion. And it's like, no, I wouldn't. If I'm asking you for an anime, I want to know what you personally enjoy. I want that shitty little thing that is like your baby.
Oh, sorry. Continue. Let me just make a note.
And you know, that's how I get. And I mean, it works for some people. Like, I got recommended Strike, which is because I did that to a friend of mine and I fucking loved it.
Mm.
And it set off an amazing chain of events. And then there's just points where it doesn't fucking work. Like, Samurai Flamenco. Just gay as shit. Sucks.
I've never heard of that one.
um, it's supposed to be like like Power Rangers, but ironically, like you know how there's films out there and they're supposed to be like really good because they're deconstructing the genre or something.
Mm.
Like I think the Scream movies were supposed to be like that, or I guess Konosuba is a good example of like it's supposed to like take the piss out of isekai. Except this was supposed to take it was supposed to be good because it took the piss out of like yeah those Japanese superhero things.
Yeah.
Except it became so ironic, it just became what it was trying to take the piss out of, and it was kind of shit
Mm.
for me. Apparently, like this, whenever I send people my like ratings of animes and shit, it's usually the one that gets me like the most shit. Is putting that one at like 3 out of 10.
Mm.
The other one is like, um, when I gave Redline like an 8 out of 10 instead of like a 10 out of 10.
Redline. That name seems familiar.
It's a film that was I think Shaft did it about like sci-fi racing thing where a lot of the praise is very much like a technical on a technical level, where it's like oh it's all like hand drawn or whatever the fuck. So it's like a good example of animation, but it's just
Right. Right.
it was an alright film. Like if you're you know someone is who's very interested in animation itself, I'm sure you'll love it. But for me, it was kind of yeah, like it was still good, just not the greatest of all time.
Mm. I only have one 10 out of 10 series on Mal, I think. I fully acknowledge it's not a 10 out of 10, but it's just a 10 out of 10 to me.
Oh yeah, my 10 out of 10s are complete horseshit.
Yeah.
Like it's Nico Para and Girls on Panzer.
Mine is a Wily Monogatari second season. Just because I love the ending and it wrapping up the whole Monogatari series. Like, I don't think any single piece of the Monogatari series is like 10 out of 10, but it's sort of all collectively together. It's kind of like
I'll
it
be honest.
represents that.
I'll be honest. I don't remember any distinct part of it, in the sense that like it kind of all just meshed together to me because I watched it like so much in such a short amount of time.
Yes, I mean, same. I tried to analyze each different part, but it was more like, okay, that had the toothbrush scene. That's a 9 out of 10.
That's
Uh,
that yeah, that entire section is Nisei.
yeah.
I like Nisei. I found it funnier
Oh,
than the rest of it. Like not even
and,
like the fan service. I just thought the jokes were more on point.
mm, I actually do have some anime related news.
Oh.
If we're over talking about specific shows.
Oh.
So I've made my module choices for my next year at university.
Okay.
So my baseline modules are pretty normal. I have to take Japanese language.
Yes.
I have to take science and technology in modern Japan, a cultural history, which is my culture module, and political culture in Japan since 1688 is my history module. So okay.
That science and technology, is that basically just like the whole industrialization of Japan?
Yeah, I mean it goes to also more like so I know an element of it is on acupuncture as well, but yeah, it's pretty much like Japanese attitudes, like cultural attitudes, cultural
The
shifts, and their
the post-war bubble of pumping out VHS players. I don't.
yeah, and like the Toyota system of manufacturing. Tried to fucking learn in economics.
Oh,
No, it was
tell me
business.
more, because I don't know shit about this.
Oh, okay. The Toyota system of manufacturing is what's commonly now called just-in-time manufacturing, which is rather than keep an inventory of goods, you essentially not necessarily automate everything. You automate what's easy to be automated, and you order resources just in time for them to be used with orders already made. It's now basically, if it doesn't sound that revolutionary, it's basically because most companies now use this system. Um,
No,
but oh,
I get it, and I'm just thinking though, so like yeah, I guess that kind of works in a very punctual society.
well, see, this is the thing with the Toyota. Like the reason why you have to refer to it as the Toyota system and not just in time manufacturing. Sorry if I skip over things. This is like fucking 4 years ago, boring business classes. But it's because just in time manufacturing is kind of a bastardization of it. It's basically, oh, having an inventory is bad because we have to pay for inventory. So let's just not have an inventory. Um, Whereas what it's supposed to be is it's supposed to be like, okay, these goods are inelastic, you know, so we don't have to, they don't fluctuate in price much, and demand and supply is always stable, so we can order them at very precise moments of time in very precise quantities. Whereas these goods are elastic, their demand changes, due to all matter of factors, people's income, etc. So, we order them based on projected orders.
Basically,
If you
but basically, you can keep like the electronics laying around, but you don't need to have like 50 million screws sitting in a drawer.
yeah. But see, this is the thing, right? It's that the Toyota manufacturing system wasn't the elimination of inventory; it was just cutting down unnecessary inventory.
Mm.
It's kind of like those first people who started living a minimalist lifestyle, and they just throw out stuff they don't need, and then you have people like, oh, I'm a minimalist, and they just throw out everything they have, and are like, oh, I'm the perfect minimalist. It's like, no, that's not the point of minimalism. It's just kind of cutting out the junk, but as you know, you don't cut out everything. So it's one of the reasons for the current computer shortage. It's basically and like car prices going up is because with the quarantine, everybody thought computer chips would be less in demand, so orders for them plummeted. So supply went down for them. The manufacturing capacity went down. But turns out people at home still had disposable income and are now telecommuting. Demand actually skyrocketed, and now there's not enough because nobody had any stock because it was seen as a fairly inelastic good. But turns out it's rather elastic. So, yeah.
Who would have thought like a global crisis would change like the availability of certain goods
Mm.
or the demand?
But it's why certain companies, it's why Toyota prices, car prices haven't went up because they did keep stock of computer chips. It's why Apple products have been relatively in stock in comparison to other electronics. It's because they keep tight control over their own supply lines. But yeah, like when everything's on essentially a 5% margin, and like, okay, we have this amount of projected orders, we'll only order 5% more than what we project.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at this whole tight control over their production lines. There's supposed to be some like Taiwanese suicide net joke in there, but I can't be fucked making it.
Well, anyway, that. It'll be stuff like that and more I will learn in science and technology or cultural history.
I'll be honest, as a man who works in a warehouse, that sounds fascinating.
Well, I did. I mean, I had to do fucking 2 years of business and 2 years of economics. Like, the pointless business strategies and organizations of goods and shit that I know that are just somewhere in my head is like, it's pointless knowledge. Well, for me anyway, but
it's
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the story of my life, isn't it? Just accumulating pointless knowledge, hoping for that one day I get to go on like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and yeah, conveniently everything just comes out.
But
don't do that, kids. That's a terrible way to live your life.
Anyway, the point of me bringing up my modules is that those are my mandatory modules, but I have 2 optional ones, and I was thinking about doing, maybe a Latin or something, but I've settled. I have to do a class on Chinese cinema, because I did a Chinese module my first year, and I can't really get out of that, and there's not another Japanese module I can do, so, I'm kind of stuck doing Chinese cinema. The other module I'm doing is Introduction to Anime, Aesthetic, Technology, Seriality. Now, basically, this guy got his master's degree, or his PhD, got his first job at this university, and just wants to teach a course about his favorite anime.
Right, I remember seeing this now in general.
Yeah, so
no, it wasn't My Hero Academia, was it?
No, it wasn't.
But it was Demon Slayer. That's what it was.
Right. Would you like me to read out the course specification for this? Which I love because it's in very academic terms, but it's literally just talking about anime.
Sure.
Okay. Department Modern Languages and Cultures, Japanese, Introduction to Anime, Aesthetic, Technology, Seriality. Prerequisites, none. That's what I'm worried about, because that means anyone can do this class. Which I'll be honest, my experience doing just Japanese culture, the fucking weebs in that class. I know it's cliche for weebs to go on about weebs, but like,
is it
doing Japanese? Sorry,
is it?
Well, I mean, kind of, but like, see, the thing is, on my course, I have to do Japanese language, and that's pretty much weeded out all of the, oh my god, anime sort of people, because it's a hard language, and you have to do a lot of it. But these sorts of classes where people can just pick it as an optional module, well, yeah, you get the wow, Japan is so quirky and cool. sort of people like that trans guy who fucking kept hitting on me. Anyway, so yeah, a fucking class on anime. Yeah, I'm maybe not looking forward to my peers. Core requisites. Okay. Aims to acquaint
just show
students
them
with
your
the
gnome tattoo.
to acquaint students with a major genre of non-Western serial media and its historical, technical, and cultural dimensions. To acquaint students with the specificities of anime's visual aesthetics. To examine the technology behind anime's global proliferation. To offer students an introduction to key concepts in animation studies, media theory, visual culture, and anthropology. Oh, that's a stretch, isn't it? Anthropology. To engage students in curatorial projects tied to formative assessment presentations. Content. A variety of anime. That's just it, a variety of anime. A variety of anime-related artifacts, physical and virtual. Now, if my boy brings in some fucking anime figures, that I'm kind of hyped. Is he just showing off his figure collection? Theoretical texts in animation studies.
I'll be honest. It's not like there's a fucking shortage of them. I'm looking at the front page of pre-orders right now, and there's already 2 Demon Slayer ones.
On what?
Ami.
Oh. Okay, theoretical text in animation studies. Oh no, did I already read that one out? Media theory, visual culture, and anthropology. Anime, or Japanese commercial animation, has become the object of sustained academic interest in fields such as media, communication, cultural studies, and beyond. Not only is anime a rare case of non-Western media with a truly global audience, but the dynamic proliferation of its visual aesthetics is one of the most prominent features of contemporary internet cultures. But what exactly is anime? What are its visual conventions, narrative tropes, and technical specificities? God, I can't say that word. In what ways are these aspects connected with the broader media genealogies, both within and beyond Japan? By using examples from Japanese animated films, TVs, and shorts, this module interrogates these and other issues through the aid of debates emerged at the crossroad of film and animation studies, media theory, visual culture, and anthropology. Its aim is to provide Japanese as well as visual culture students with basic tools to critically engage with the historical, technical, and cultural dimensions of this diverse form of non-Western serial aesthetic. The module is organized in lectures and a series of interactive seminars. The lectures are designed to introduce key students to Japanese and international perspectives on anime, or the seminars. The seminars will provide them with a unique opportunity to put their knowledge into practice with a collective curatorial experience, the Kimetsu no Yaiba product. Now, the Kimetsu no Yaiba project is an experiment in collective and co-creative curating. The project centers on Kimetsu no Yaiba, in brackets, Demon Slayer, the anime TV series that hit Japan and the world as a storm since its release in 2019. Through the seminars, the series will work as a case study, or testing ground, if you like, to engage with the issues raised by the lectures and create something new in the form of an original virtual exhibition. Instead of assuming some pre-given categories of Japanese culture, we will start our embodied sensations and effective reactions to Demon Slayer in order to understand what claim this series makes upon us, soliciting us to actively construct particular ideas about Japan and Japanese culture through its visual aesthetic. A close reading of this series, Demon Slayer, at the technical, narrative, and cultural level will provide us with all we need to produce a co-curated original anime exhibition. That's right, your boy has to make an anime exhibit on fucking Demon Slayer. And then it's just how it's taught, whatever, 10 lectures, 10 seminars, and 2 essays, one of which will be on Demon Slayer.
And the other one's on Nekopara?
I think the other ones, I hope I can pick the anime, but it might just be a general one, like just a Because basically, how I've read this, and from talking with the other guy, the Japanese culture teacher, it basically just seems like this guy really just wants to talk about Demon Slayer. But he has to give a survey of anime. So it's probably going to be like half survey, half Demon Slayer. But I'll be interested to see things like if they talk about how anime is made and stuff, like the studio aspect. That might be interesting.
I see.
But yeah, it's mainly just like I'd be kicking myself if I didn't do this because I mean, come on, it's a fucking course on anime. You know, why not? Also, it's only 1 week. Sorry, not 1 week. It's only one term. It's not 2 terms. So, and there's no exam. So, it'll be over by Christmas. And I've one fewer module to do. But it does mean 2 hours of anime lectures a week.
And having to watch Demon Slayer, probably.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do some fucking academic research on. Sorry, Mom, I can't call you. I'm doing research.
Oh, can you imagine if like the reading requirements actually puts like a Demon Slayer Blu-ray
Right. Okay. So
on the fucking list, or is it like no, just fucking torrent it?
We do have a reading list website, but because the module's brand new, because the guy basically just got hired, which is a bit of a red flag because like we're his first year. So you know, like where the year he'll work out his kinks and his problems with.
That's what you get for picking an anime that came out in 2019.
But the module isn't on my reading list. One yet. I'm looking through it now. If I just put in anime. Yeah, no results found. So I can't actually tell what's on my reading list yet for this. I know for my first Japanese culture one, Evangelion was on it, but it never came up, so
good.
I mean there was a lecture on fucking otaku culture, but I mean I didn't write about that for my essay on my exam, so I didn't do it.
Were you afraid of looking in the mirror or some shit?
Nah, I just couldn't be bothered.
Oh.
It was like I had a lot of things to do, and it's kind of like prioritizing your time. It's like, yeah, I'll read like survey books, you know, like general history books in an academic style, but just give an outline. So you know, like history of modern Japan. You know, I'll read that throughout the year, and books associated with that. But I don't actually read the read really in depth books. So like I have a book on. Do you know Hokkaido?
Yes, it's my favorite island.
Yeah, so I have a book just about the integration of Hokkaido from 1600 to 1800, and the displacement of native peoples, because that was what I was going to do an essay on as my essay topic. It was the displacement of natives in Western China and Northern Japan. So but I only read that when I knew what my when I knew what the questions were going to come up on my essay, and I knew what I was going to write about, because books are fucking expensive, and because it's remote learning, I can't just go to the library and read a book. I have to buy my fucking books. And I don't know if you know, but academic books are really fucking expensive. I think I spent like £600, about $800 on books in just my first term.
Yeah, no, fuck that noise.
Yeah, it's fucking shit. So,
and then motherfuckers buy a $10 bookshelf to put that shit on. Fucking priorities.
So, and that was sort of a thing. It's like I'm not gonna spend my time watching Evangelion, where I'm not gonna write something about it. So that's it. But I think I'm going to have to watch Demon Slayer. How many episodes of Demon Slayer are there?
Probably 12.
Wait, only 12?
Probably. I don't know.
Demon Slayer. Oh, it's on Netflix. Episodes. There are 26. Okay.
Oh, fuck, okay.
Oh, that's not too long, I guess.
I mean, it's what, 20...
Oh,
Yeah, 20 minutes each.
yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen was the same.
Oh, it was Ufotable. That explains a lot.
It was what, sorry?
Ufotable, the studio.
Oh.
Still not going to watch it, but...
I'll be honest, like, I don't really know my studios. I know Kyoto Animation, I know Shaft, and then I only know Mappa because of the hate they were getting.
That's all you really need to know. Like, it all comes down to, like, the more you watch, the more you'll, like, start taking note of, like, the trends of, hey, I really like this show and this show. What a coincidence. They're both made by the same, like, people.
Yeah, I would say I do typically like anything Kyoto Animation does. But Kyoto Animation stuff is kind of hard to get in the UK. I say as somebody who doesn't normally pirate, so a lot of that stuff isn't available.
Yeah, I've kind of been noticing that. But, no, Affordable, at least as far as I know them, did a lot of the, more recent Fate stuff.
Oh, are they the Good Fate studio?
I guess you could say that. But, yeah, that's kind of what I know them from, and I quite enjoy the later Fate stuff.
Fair enough. Listen, I just hope that when we do a podcast at Christmas time, I will be able to have a very deep and intellectual conversation with you on anime.
Usually
as
takes
of right
it
now.
usually takes two to have like a deep and meaningful conversation.
Yeah,
And
but
I really don't want to watch Demon Slayer.
Yeah, no, Demons. It is something that I kind of. It's kind of a gap in my knowledge. It's like, okay, I watch anime, but I just watch anime like a TV show. I don't watch anime for anime's sake, if that makes sense. You know, like
You're not in it for the kino.
yeah, I watch anime.
To
Like
switch your brain off for like 20 minutes before bed.
no, it's the
Okay,
opposite.
okay, that's me. Oh, you watch anime in the morning to wake up with your bowl of Fruit Loops in your pajamas.
I mean, kind of, yeah. Like, when I watch anime, I have to be sort of actively engaged. So, when I pick an anime to watch, it's kind of like, it's something I want to watch. Whereas, which is just like TV, I don't watch anime because, oh, it's an anime and it looks cool. Yeah, basically, I'm making a very roundabout way of just saying, I just watch what I think I'll like, regardless of what medium it is. Wow.
Yeah, I get that.
Big controversial take, but yeah, I don't just watch anime because it's anime. So, it does mean that as a weeb, I have quite a big hole in my weeb knowledge because I just don't watch a lot of anime. So,
Yeah, no, you just watch KO and then buy like a bunch of KO and shit.
yeah, I watch like 2 series a year typically. Like 20, like this year has been the year I've watched the most anime.
And you're at like
I've
what,
watched
4?
Well,
Sorry.
depends on how if you count Monogatari as individual or separate.
Oh,
Sorry, not individual or separate. No, single or separate. But yeah, so. But yeah, Monogatari, Jujutsu Kaisen, bit of Nichijou, bit of Super Cub. And there's something else there. There's something else I'm forgetting.
well, it's sure as fuck not Girls on Panzer or Neko Power, so I don't care.
Oh no, I did watch Girls and Pants.
Did you? Oh, right, you did. Forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched any of the stuff after the season.
Yeah. I still think you
Which
should watch
I
the
need
movie.
to. Yeah, all the movie. But yeah, no, I liked Girls und Panzer. But no, I have not seen Neko Power.
It's a good show. Talking about Girls and Pets, I know Nico Power is fucking trash. Like, even I was incredibly underwhelmed by like the anime series, but I continue to just give it a 10 out of 10 for the meme.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, I'm just gonna, if you can, I just have 5 minutes just to wrap through everything else I have written down here.
Go for
I
it.
don't really feel like talking about too much. All right.
Understanding, I've got like nothing else to say. I've talked about Chris Chan and I've talked about The Room. I didn't talk about
Alright.
Fallout 4, but even then, that's like nothing to fucking talk about. It's just Steam sales are on. Bought the DLC so that I can finally install like a bunch of the mods that I couldn't install because I just had the base game.
Yeah.
Not the base game, sorry, the base game. And then I just run around and like shoot things and loot stuff and ignore the story.
I will say it does suck having a Steam sale, just having no money.
I can't relate.
I flex on me.
Even then, like I still found it kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. I mean, it's because I pretty much have most of the games I want, but
There's that as well, but I don't know. Even then, the sales just don't feel like what they used to.
Yeah.
Probably because they're so static now. Like they used to like update every 12 hours, or no, 24 hours or some shit. Like you would come in every day and like a handful of games would be like 90% off or some shit, and it don't exist anymore.
Okay, well, I'll just rattle through these. So, I mean, feel free to interrupt me whenever, but yeah, there's nothing really here. Okay, Sky has got me to watch True Detective. I was kind of putting it off because I have to watch it on my PC, but I finally watched it. It's a really good what's the word? Anthology series. Was not at all what I was expecting. Really good. If you haven't watched it and you're kind of into that sort of stuff, it's a nice character study. Very Kino.
I don't know what it is.
Ask Sky.
I don't. Sky's not on the podcast.
I can't. I think. See, the thing is, I didn't know any. I totally misinterpreted what it was about to the point where I didn't even know the characters in it. Because when I'd Google it, it would show a different season of characters. And honestly, I think that made me love the series even more. Was just that sort of not knowing anything. So I'm not going to say anything. I just highly recommend it. It's only 8 episodes. Don't watch season 2 or season 3. Just season 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'll interrupt to say that Mass Effect Andromeda Deluxe Edition is $7.
Hog. Maybe. I don't know.
No, I'm not going to buy it. That would be dumb.
Okay.
I'm not dumb.
I watched How I Met Your Mother. Again, this was my big sitcom when I was like 13, 14. I loved it. I hated the ending, so I haven't seen it in 8 years. I watched it again. It was a good show to have in the background while I was waiting for the football to start. I would not recommend watching it as a show to watch, but it's good background noise.
How does it end? Because I don't want to watch it.
Okay, spoiler alert for this 8-year-old show. It ends with the mother. You finally find out who she is. She has like cancer or something. She dies, and the entire time he's been Ted's kids give him permission to see his Aunt Robin and Asger out and bang her.
What?
Yeah.
What was that last bit?
And bang her.
What? Okay, so he meets. Let's start from the beginning. We'll go a bit slower.
Wait, hang on. Do you know anything about How I Met Your Mother?
Vaguely.
Okay.
Like I've watched the show before, not like in any sense of continuity, but
right. Okay. Well, so if you don't know anything, well,
So,
Any listeners?
well, if you don't know anything, go watch it. You get that. You get the hard road. I get the like semi-hard road where I had to watch some of it so that I can have it spoiled for me. So he meets the mother.
So the mother is revealed at the end of season 8. Season 9 is the final end. Now, the entire arc of season 9 is it's taken place at Barney's wedding to Robin. In the final episode, which is a two-parter, so in technically the penultimate episode, it is revealed that the wedding has went smoothly, which you see in person, but in three years, Barney and Robin get a divorce. So the entire season was kind of like, okay, we're at this wedding, but okay, they just get divorced in this time skip. But but Ted has met the mother, who is the player at the wedding band for Barney and Robin's wedding. So he's now having a family. They have 2 kids. They grow up, but she has cancer, or I don't know if it's technically cancer, but some terminal illness.
Yeah.
She dies, and that is the reason why Ted is telling his kids the story of how he met their mother. And the kids give him a bit of a talking to, saying, "Wait, but you barely talk about mum. You barely talk about mom. You mainly talk about Aunt Robin." So, well, Aunt Robin's single, isn't she? What are you waiting for, Dad? Go out and get her. So he runs out. At this point, he's in his 50s and 60s, and so is Robin. And he stands outside her apartment, like the first time. A call back to the first episode with the blue. Oh, what is it? The instrument, the French horn, the blue French horn, and they get together. So the 9 seasons is basically asking for the permission of his kids to forget their mother and bang his friend who he already banged several times before meeting their mother. Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't see any good way for the show to end regardless. When it's literally called How I Met Your Mother and you go 7, 8 seasons without ever meeting your mother, you've kind of
Yeah.
established that meeting the mother is not the point of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, I mean, they did actually make an alternative ending where it just kind of wrapped up so there was no divorce, and it just sort of ends at the end of the wedding with them meeting. And it's kind of a happily ever after sort of thing. But yeah, I kind of agree with sort of got themselves into a hole. But I fucking loved that show as a kid, and I'll be honest, rewatching it, it's one of those shows where I understand it's not like the greatest show of all time or whatever, but I don't know, I just really liked it. It's dumb and yeah, it's a sitcom and has a laugh track, but whatever.
And it has
Fucking like it.
and it has the gay man who makes the funny bro codes.
It-
10
like,
things you didn't know about How I Met Your Mother. Neil Patrick Harris likes men.
I remember I think it was before I went to America, and I had my first smartphone, my iPhone 6.
Weird flex, but
I
okay.
I bought the Bro Code as an ebook to read on the plane, and it remains the only ebook I've ever bought. It's fucking the Bro Code by Barney Stinson.
Don't know if that's based or cringe. Binge. Or is it
Okay,
cased?
right.
I don't know.
I bought Halo. I got through a few missions of Halo 1, kind of liking it, but I sort of moved on to other stuff. I'll probably get round to playing the rest of them. I've been playing more of Civilization 6. Not really much else to say. Finally.
Oh, that's right.
Job.
The last Humble Bundle had Civilization 6 in it, so I technically have Civilization 6 now. I'm not gonna play it
Does it come with the
anytime.
expansions?
Yeah, it's the deluxe edition.
Oh, okay, good.
But I've already got a shit ton of backlog, so
Yeah, I mean, it's not a game I'm actively playing. It's just more of like a background game. I can just play Civ, like. if I want to play something, but I don't know what I want to play.
Fair enough.
Okay, and final thing is how I nearly topped myself, aka the story of my job in quotation marks.
Did you actually want to talk about this on the podcast, or?
Well, not necessarily get massively into it. I just want to say I got very excited about a job that I supposedly got. Turns out it was just training with an
this part.
opportunity for a job. Yeah. Talked about it with all my family or whatever. They all pretty much said, "Don't do it. It's just pointless." So I didn't.
Oh,
The end.
okay. So I guess I guess I was kind of the only person that went, yeah, kinda.
Well, I spoke to my granddad, and he was just like, "Listen." He basically said that he's been on the other end of it, that he's been teaching on those courses when he was an ambulance driver.
Oh yeah.
And he just said that like it doesn't help you. Like he said that if I want to do it, he'll support me. But he said the only reason you should do it is if you want to get out of the house and just do something. Like chances are they're not going to give you a job. The qualification, I know the qualification, it's worthless.
Yeah.
You're already going for university, for going for graduate employment, and if you're looking for a summer job, then what's the point in spending all this time getting a supposed qualification? You should just apply for a job that will give you a job, like for the summer. So yeah, I decided not to do it.
Yeah, I guess he has a point there. The truth, and I will absolutely agree. A warehousing degree is fucking useless.
Yeah, it's not even a degree. It's
A
literally
certificate.
the equivalent of a qualification you get at 15 is the level it's on in the sort of
That says
accreditation.
you can like understand that there's heavy machinery moving around, and you should like check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it is a course designed for people who probably who maybe didn't finish school and shit like that, a job center people,
Yeah, I can get that. I can understand that. It's a shitty fucking degree, but if you're gonna make up credits and yeah,
Well,
you're dumb as fucking shit.
the final nail was that I had a text conversation with the people running it, and I just explained my situation, and they were just like, "Yeah, this probably isn't the best thing for you." So,
So I got the person over like, this course is bullshit, and they're like, yeah.
yeah,
Off the books, this is a fucking scam.
I mean, because yeah, they were basically they texted me saying, "Do I want we've got your name down. Can you just confirm if you're doing it?" And it's like, well, I don't want to say no. I want to. It's kind of like I gave them an opportunity to entice me. I was like, I'm not sure yet, and I explained my situation. Would this be the best thing for me? And yeah, they just said, probably not. Good luck on the rest of your job hunt.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Because I mean, no, if it's just training, there's not going to be a drug test involved, is there?
I wouldn't fail a drug test.
No, but more regardless, the entire act of taking a drug test cost £100.
Does it?
Something like that. It's like $200 here, so I'm just doing the math.
Shit.
But I'm saying the thing. It's like, are you worth at this point in trying to get a job? Are you worth $200? And I don't think the answer is yes.
Yeah. Also, damn, hey, if somebody wants my fucking piss, they're gonna pay for it, right?
Oh no, you don't get paid for the piss. Like that's the testing equipment and the guy who's going to take your piss. The company is paying a guy like £100 to take your piss.
Right. I thought it was like the cost was passed on to me. I thought it was like I have to pay 200 to get my piss test. And I'm like, no. If it's anything, it should be the other way around. You want my piss? You pay me.
I think how it works here. It's the price is only forwarded to you if you fail.
Ah, right.
or
It's like a bail bond.
or if you think I think you can go kind of like a double or nothing, where you can then get like a second test if you think the first test was like bullshit.
Man, okay,
But-
right. That not be an amazing fucking shitty daytime TV show like a la Jeremy Kyle? Like,
well, no
it's-
more like can't pay, will take it away, but it's just getting
Yeah,
people to
yeah.
piss in cups and
yeah,
like the chavs losing their shit when it turns out they tested positive for PCP.
yeah. I would watch that so fucking much. Like, no, but you've got to have like fucking Bradley Walsh presenting, and it's like, okay, well, you failed, but are you willing to, double or nothing, right? It's like this now going, I was a poor mistake. I'll fucking pass it. I was like, okay, right?
We gave Kyle 2 weeks to get his act together. You know, I've been trying, man. I've been staying away from that stuff. But it was for naught. He failed again.
Fuck! I've got to call Channel 4 right now. Oh man. Oh. What would the name for the show? You're taking the piss. Oh. We got this sorted, man.
What the?
Oh.
A name like that would absolutely get by the broadcasting standards in the UK, wouldn't it?
No. Yeah, what you'd have to do is you'd have to put the little asterisks in the eye.
Oh no, the exclamation point.
Yes,
'Cause-
yes. Oh, yeah. But yeah, that would be allowed as long as it was like slightly edited. Yeah. Oh man, fuck.
What are we doing with this fucking podcast? Screw that whole like return trip shit in the UK. I'm going to the UK. We're pitching this to the BBC.
No. The BBC will never take it. You got to go Channel 4. This is a Channel 4 and ITV, right? Sure.
Oh, okay. So it is ITV. I thought like Channel 4 was like BBC 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know.
So you do have BBC 4, but no, Channel 4 is its own company.
All right.
Channel 4 do 8 out of 10 Cats and stuff. ITV do The Chase and Jeremy Kyle.
Yeah, I know ITV does the chase. I remember there was an article I read like a few weeks ago that made me mad because they're talking about like, the distinction between American game shows and British game shows and how like the British ones are all like real harsh and you don't really fucking win anything.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there the entire time I was like, yes, that's true, but you have the fucking chase.
Yeah.
And they're just talking about the fucking weakest link and eggheads and like the college quiz thing.
Oh, University Challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the actual ones. I want the funny ones with the lay people, like,
And
Man,
compared it to fucking Jeopardy.
Yeah. Wait, fuck that shit. This could have been the good idea for first merch. You're taking the piss T-shirt, like one of those title sequences. Fuck, we got a bunch of artists. Shit. I'm just thinking of really shit logos for this TV show. like the piss, but like the P streams coming out, the exclamation mark. I don't know. Like,
oh, god damn.
Anyway,
I think we've peaked.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here, baby.
We will never come up with a better show than this. Than this shitty daytime semi-game show about people ruining their lives with drugs and how they can't get a fucking job.
Yeah. Oh man, but you'd watch it, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
I love it when you just describe it in that way because it's like, oh yeah, this show is objectively awful. It's like can't be taken away. Oh, it's people in horrific debt having to beg family members or sell their property, sell their possessions just to make basic debts and survive. Oh fuck! I love watching that.
It makes me
Yeah.
feel better about my own situation.
Oh, I remember I spent like 3 days just watching black people on Maori doing backflips when they told her they weren't the father. Like, honestly, it was so cathartic. It was like it was great programming. Like the fucking legs on the cameraman following the women. Like, okay, those women are big. You think they can't run? As soon as they're told that that guy's not the father, man, they're fucking Sonic the Hedgehog out of there, right?
And
Like,
you
fuck.
they got a dude behind them with like a fucking 30 kg, 10 grand piece of equipment on his shoulder.
Yeah, and he's like keeping up with it, man. Fuck the Olympics 100-meter sprint. I want to see the Maori sprint, right? Like,
Oh, dude, just 100-meter sprint, but with a camera lodged in the back. Who's gonna like film the cameraman?
yeah, who watches the Watchmen? Who films the film?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like there's probably just like there's a part of the union contract that all those cameramen are under that like denies that.
Yeah, probably.
They're not allowed to. There's risk to injury, and I don't know. It takes them out of the 30-mile zone or whatever. I don't know. I'm talking out my. Again, we've peaked. We can't beat
Yeah,
taking the
yeah.
piss.
I mean, we should just call the podcast like the
Yeah.
episode here. To be honest,
Thanks
like.
for coming, everyone.